In just 6 months, you could potentially double your muscle gains compared to a full year if you avoid common mistakes. That's right, doubling your results. Today, let's dive into the top 10 pitfalls that hold so many people back from building the muscle they're capable of. Truth is, all of us, yes, all of us have fallen into at least one of these traps at some point, maybe even right now. The good news? You don't have to be perfect. But the fewer of these mistakes you make, the better your results will be. It's simple math. The less you're holding yourself back, the more progress you'll see. Honestly, I'd say about half of the muscle gains people could achieve are left on the table because of these avoidable missteps. Let's make sure that doesn't happen to you. The reason so many gains are left on the table, it's because people are unknowingly falling into these 10 common traps. Some are bigger mistakes than others, but even the smaller ones add up and chip away at your progress. If you can start steering clear of these today, your 6-month results could match what might have taken you a year otherwise. Think about that for a second. Doubling your progress in the same amount of time. That's massive. And just to be clear, this isn't about taking shortcuts or enhancements. This advice is for everyone. Whether you're natural or enhanced, these principles still apply. So let's get that out of the way. Too much high-intensity cardio. If building muscle is your goal, going all out on cardio is working against you. It doesn't matter if it's HIIT, fasted cardio, late-night cardio, or anything else. When it's too intense, it takes a toll on your ability to recover. And without proper recovery, your muscle growth suffers. Here's the thing. Your body has a limited capacity for recovery. Cardio and weight training demand completely different recovery pathways, and you simply can't excel in both at the highest level. You're not going to see someone winning an Olympic triathlon and also dominating as a bodybuilding champion. Those goals clash. This doesn't mean cardio is bad. It's all about balance. But if you're spending your days sprinting up hills or grinding out endless HIIT sessions, don't be surprised if your muscle building progress hits a wall. If maximum muscle is your goal, it's time to reevaluate how much intense cardio you're doing, skipping meals, or fasting for too long. Let's be honest, most of us have done this at some point. Maybe you were busy, on the go, or just trying out a trendy fasting method because it sounded cool. Whatever the reason, going too long without eating seriously limits your muscle building potential. Think of it this way. Your body has about 5 opportunities a day to trigger muscle growth through muscle protein synthesis. To make the most of this, you need to space out your meals. Eating roughly every 5 hours is ideal, but even more frequent meals can work, as long as it's manageable. You don't have to go overboard and eat every 2 hours, like it's a full-time job. That's not better than eating every 3, 4, or 5 hours. For most people, 4 or 5 solid meals a day is enough to hit your muscle building stride. If you're aiming for maximum muscle, don't skip meals. Breakfast, especially, is crucial. You've already been fasting for 8 hours while you sleep. Why push it further? That first meal kickstarts your recovery and sets the tone for your day. And before bed, it's not about avoiding food after dark. It's about making sure your body has fuel to recover while you sleep. Forget the myths. Just eat. If you're on the go, grab something quick, like a protein bar. Don't get caught up in the idea of perfect food. Focus on hitting your protein goals. Whether it's a full meal, a snack, or something simple, just make sure you're not skipping. 4 or 5 meals a day with at least 20 grams of protein per meal will keep you on track. If you're underweight, eat more. If you're carrying extra weight, focus on balanced meals. It's that straightforward. Skipping meals isn't just inconvenient, it's a missed opportunity to grow. So, if you're serious about building muscle, don't let this be the reason your progress slows down. Drinking and partying. Let's not sugarcoat it. If you're regularly indulging in wine, cocktails, or any kind of alcohol, it's going to hurt your muscle gains. Alcohol and muscle growth just don't mix well. And it's not just the drinking, it's the whole lifestyle that often comes with it. Think about it. Hitting the bar every weekend, staying out late, dancing, and pushing your body into the early hours of the morning. Combine that with substances or stimulants that mess with your sleep, and you're creating the perfect storm to hinder recovery and growth. Sleep is a critical piece of the muscle building puzzle, and without it, your progress stalls. It's common sense. Now, this doesn't mean you have to swear off alcohol forever or live like a monk. Moderation is key. A drink here and there isn't going to derail your progress, but if partying becomes a regular thing, it's time to rethink your priorities. So, while it's fine to enjoy yourself occasionally, just remember the bigger picture. Neglecting sleep. Let's be real. Staying up too late, waking up too early, or scrolling on your phone all night isn't doing you any favors. Poor sleep isn't just about feeling tired, it directly impacts your ability to recover and build muscle. If you're not sleeping well, it's time to address it. Start by identifying the problem. Maybe it's your environment, your habits, or stress keeping you up. Fixing sleep might mean incorporating sleep aids, but responsibly. Whether it's melatonin, doctor-prescribed medication, or something else legal and safe in your area, use these tools wisely under proper guidance. The goal is to restore healthy, consistent sleep, not to depend on anything long-term or misuse it. Here's the deal. When you sleep, your body recovers, grows, and resets. Without it, you're leaving gains on the table and setting yourself up for fatigue, cravings, and stalled progress. Plus, let's not forget, when you're asleep, you're not snacking. So it's a win for those calorie goals too. Don't brush off sleep as something you can catch up on later. Prioritize it now, and you'll see the difference in both your workouts and your overall progress. Holding back in the gym and not putting in enough effort. Let's be blunt. If you're not training hard, you're not going to see the results you're after. It's as simple as that. Forget the excuses. Forget the overthinking about definitions of intensity. Just show up and push yourself harder than you did last time. That's the key: consistent, relentless effort. Most people aren't overtraining. In fact, the real issue is the opposite: holding back. If you're going through the motions, stopping when it gets uncomfortable, or following a plan without truly challenging yourself, you're not maximizing your potential. Sure, science can guide you with things like RPE and set volume, but at the end of the day, effort trumps everything. Training hard always beats training safe and easy. And don't get caught in the trap of comparing yourself to someone with great genetics who barely trains but looks amazing. Genetics might give them a head start, but if they trained with intensity, they'd be even better. That's not an excuse for you to slack off. You're in control of your effort, and effort changes everything. So next time you're in the gym, don't hold back. Push your limits, challenge yourself, and embrace the grind. The harder you train, the better your results. Only training each body part once a week. The old school bro splits might sound cool. They're often tied to famous bodybuilding routines, but they're not the most effective way to train. It doesn't matter if it's something you read in a magazine or a program inspired by a legend. Training each body part only once every 7 days just doesn't give you enough chances to stimulate growth. If you've been enjoying the insights so far, take a second to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It's a simple way to make sure you never miss a video, packed with tips to keep you progressing safely and effectively. Here's the math. Training a muscle once a week gives you about 50 opportunities in a year to trigger muscle growth. But if you hit each body part twice a week, that doubles to about 100 opportunities. The more frequently you train, within reason, the more chances your muscles have to adapt and grow. Even spacing it out every 5 or 6 days is better than sticking to a strict once-a-week schedule. The sweet spot for most people? Training each body part every 3 to 4 days. It's enough to challenge your muscles without overdoing it. Consistency and frequency are key here. Spread out the workload and your gains will reflect it. So forget the outdated one and done mentality. Hit those muscles more often and keep them growing. Losing weight too fast. Dropping weight quickly might sound tempting. It's dramatic, it gets attention, and it makes for jaw-dropping before and after transformations. But here's the reality. When you lose weight too fast, a lot of that weight isn't fat, it's muscle. And losing muscle is the last thing you want when trying to build a stronger, healthier body. Sure, you can speed up fat loss by drastically cutting calories or, starving yourself. But it comes at a massive cost. Your metabolism takes a hit, and your body starts breaking down muscle to compensate. People might celebrate losing 50 pounds in 2 months, but if 12 of those pounds are muscle, it's not the kind of progress you want. Muscle is what keeps your metabolism strong and helps you maintain a lean, defined look, not to mention the strength and energy it provides. For sustainable fat loss, aim to lose no more than 1% of your body weight per week. If you're already lean, closer to 0.5% per week is even better. Slow, steady progress might not sound exciting, but it's the best way to preserve your hard-earned muscle and avoid the dreaded rebound weight gain. Think long-term. A pound a week might not seem like much, but over a year, that's 50 pounds. Over 2 years, you're completely transformed and you've done it the right way. This isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Rushing the process only leads to burnout, muscle loss, and the frustrating yo-yo cycle of losing and regaining weight. Slow and steady wins this race every time, bulking up and getting fat. A lot of people think that to build muscle, they need to eat in a massive calorie surplus. But let's clear this up. It doesn't work that way. Eating an extra 1,000 calories a day? Useless. Even 500 extra calories won't magically add muscle to your frame. What it will do is pack on fat, water, and glycogen, not muscle. Here's what happens. You bulk up, thinking you're building tons of muscle, but most of that weight is fat and water. When it's time to cut and lean out, the truth is revealed. You didn't gain nearly as much muscle as you thought. It's frustrating and feels like a complete waste of time because you worked hard only to realize the bulk wasn't necessary. To truly maximize muscle growth, you don't need a large surplus. Even 50 extra calories a day is enough, though it's almost impossible to measure that accurately. Tracking calories down to that tiny margin isn't realistic because food variations, like a steak's fat content or how much rice is in your cup, make it impossible to be precise. The point is, the surplus should be minimal, and the focus should be on slow, steady progress. The same applies if you're skinny. Don't think you're an exception who needs to bulk excessively. Whether you're lean or not, eating way over your maintenance calories won't speed up muscle growth. It'll just leave you with more fat to lose later. Save yourself the time and frustration. Avoid the unnecessary bulk and focus on slow, sustainable gains. Improper supplementation, or skipping your supplements altogether. Let's be real. If you're not consistent with your supplements, you're leaving progress on the table. Whether it's something natural like omega-3s or a supplement tailored to your specific needs, consistency is key. Forgetting to take them or only using them sporadically isn't going to cut it. For example, if you're taking creatine but only remember it twice a week, you're not getting the full benefit. Or maybe you struggle with sleep but always forget your melatonin or other sleep aids. That inconsistency is holding you back. Supplements are tools to support your goals, but they only work if you actually use them as planned. Think of it this way. If you've put in the effort to figure out what supplements work best for you, why sabotage yourself by skipping doses or forgetting them? Stick to your plan, take them consistently, and don't treat it like an afterthought. Proper supplementation is about forming habits that align with your goals. It's simple, but it makes a big difference. Ego lifting. It's one of the most common pitfalls in the gym, and it can be a huge roadblock to your progress. Loading up the bar with weights that are way too heavy, moving too fast, or chasing personal records every session isn't helping you build muscle. It's setting you up for injuries. We've all been there, pushing ourselves to hit that 1 rep max or lift heavier than ever before. But what's the cost? Torn muscles like pecs, biceps, or quads, and injuries that take months to recover from. Sure, maxing out might seem impressive in the moment, but is it really worth sacrificing your progress, or worse, your ability to train altogether? Heavy lifting isn't inherently bad, but it has to be done smartly. Stick to controlled reps, proper form, and weights you can handle without risking injury. If you're chasing strength gains, focus on rep maxes instead of 1 rep maxes. Going heavy for 3 to 5 reps, with solid form, is a safer way to build both strength and muscle over time. And if you do get injured, don't rely on quick fixes like painkillers or cortisone shots to mask the issue. Ignoring an injury and pushing through the pain only leads to more damage and longer recovery times. Listen to your body, rest when needed, and focus on healing properly before jumping back in. Ego lifting might feel like progress in the moment, but it slows you down in the long run. Train smart, protect your body, and focus on consistent, safe growth. Check out the videos popping up on your screen now. They'll dive even deeper into building muscle, avoiding mistakes, and maximizing your training. See you there.